In this video, I give you a complete, no BS, step-by-step Amazon FBA ungating guide for new Amazon sellers in just 5 minutes, fully updated for 2025. Most beginners think they need to place huge orders from wholesalers or have tons of Amazon experience to get ungated. That's just not true. Here's the blueprint. I'm going to go into everything you guys need to know. What is ungating? Actually showing the ungating process, a bunch of frequently asked questions about ungating I see a lot of people trip on, especially as a beginner. And I'm going to give you guys a big list of auto ungate listings at the end that you can get approved for today with no invoices needed. So to start off, what actually is gating and ungating? Gating is when Amazon restricts permission to protect buyers on their platform from potentially buying fakes from big brands and categories. Ungating is the process of actually getting Amazon's approval to sell those items. Basically just proving that you're a real business and the products you're selling are legit to gain access to entire big brands and categories that are restricted for beginners like toys, grocery, or big brands like Calvin Klein, Gap, and Tommy Hilfiger. Now it's important to note, guys, ungating used to be hard a couple years ago when I got started, but then once I figured out ungating, which these days is completely doable, even if you're a new seller, if you don't get ungated, you're going to miss tons of winning products. Once I actually got ungated, I made over $100,000 profit my first year. The way to actually get ungated for big brands and categories is to just submit purchase documentation for 10 or more, typically just start out with 10, of a specific product that's listed in that brand or category, in invoice or order confirmation email. The best way to do it by mile is just using order confirmation emails in 2025 from big sites like Kohl's, Walmart, Target, etc., or the brand specific websites. So say I want to get ungated in the Goodfellow brand, I can just go ahead and use Target. That's actually the only place it comes from. If we're being completely honest, most products only come from one supplier, so that's where you should use for ungating. So say we want to get the entire Goodfellow brand ungated. We can just buy 10 of these boxers here. All we have to do is make sure they're also listed on Amazon, and then immediately after placing the order, we're going to get an order confirmation email, and that's what we're going to download as a PDF and submit off to Amazon. You want to title it something professional like the ASIN, which you can just get on SellerAmp here, _invoice_date, or brand _invoice_date, something nice and professional like that. So Target is a great place for ungating, as well as all big websites and brand websites too. So say you want to do Gap, use Gap Factory. Say you want to do any of the Walmart owned brands like Great Value or And One, you could just go ahead and use walmart.com for that. Just find a product also listed on Amazon, buy 10, immediately get that order confirmation email, and that's what you submit off to Amazon as your documentation. In terms of some frequently asked ungating questions, in terms of what websites work, all big websites or wholesalers in 2025, the big thing is I just don't think it makes sense to do wholesale as a beginner Amazon seller, but any of the big suppliers using could go ahead and get that done. It is very important to note, guys, you are going to get denied for ungates typically 10 to 15 times per brand, and that's completely normal and expected. Don't worry about what Amazon says in those denial emails. It's completely normal. So a lot of beginners will say, hey, Miles, I got denied for an ungate. What do? Keep submitting that same documentation, that order confirmation email downloaded as a PDF. And you can even go ahead and add into that combined PDF, just using a PDF combiner on Google, nice and easy, the shipping email, the delivery email, a picture of the product, a picture of the shipping label, the credit card statement, and just go ahead and show the entire supply chain from that purchase. It's going to make it even easier to get ungated. But the big thing to understand is that you're going to get denied for ungates, and that's completely normal. But there's also a lot of auto ungate approval products, but more on that later. Another thing you may be thinking, watching a lot of content around selling Amazon as beginners, okay, what about big brands like Nike and Adidas and those? When I go to add a listing on Amazon, it doesn't let me apply for those. It says copy listing or we're not accepting applications. And those are what's called hard gated products on Amazon, guys. So stuff like Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, Lego, etc., that you can't apply for, those are hard gated. Stay away from those as a beginner. You can't get approval. But anything that lets you apply for on Amazon, when you select condition and then say sell, and it says request approval or apply to sell, and it asks for documentation, whether that be 10 or 100, just stick to 10 unit ungate requirements. Now you can go ahead and get approved for. And make sure to just only ungate stuff you find profitably. There's really no use in ungating a product if you haven't actually found it profitably. In respect to brands that require documentation though, the cool thing is there's tons of auto ungate approval brands that'll automatically ungate you from day one. And I have a big list of these that I'll put down below at the link in the description. You can apply for free. Some easy quick wins, Stafford, Dan, or Red Heart, that when you go ahead and hit add product, put in this ASIN, hit request approval and apply to sell. A lot of people forget to hit request approval and apply to sell. It's going to ask for quantity and price, which means it's automatically ungated, But if it asks for a certain amount of units and documentation and order confirmations, that's a gated item. So make sure you download this list and go through it, add product, paste this in, hit apply to sell and request approval. And if it asks for price and size, etc., it means you're good to go. If it asks for documents, it means if you want to sell that product, you need to get ungated for it using documentation right there. But don't be afraid of stuff that does require documentation, guys. It's nice and easy. Go ahead and go through the auto ungate list. The more you sell, the more becomes auto ungate as well. The entire auto ungate list is definitely not going to be auto ungate, but some of it is, even if you have no sales history. Hope this video was helpful, guys. If you have any ungating questions, let me know down below in the comments. If you want to see me do live product sourcing for auto ungate listings, click this video right here. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.